Sailor Tarot Magic is the spot to get a reading from Sally, an intuitive healer and tarot reader. Known as the Nurturing Reader at New Jersey street fairs, you can also check out our YouTube channel for lunar and astro readings, as well as our Instagram for live weekly readings. Her rates are affordable, and you will leave with a newfound perspective. Sally is now offering an introductory class on tarot cards and intuition, and is available for parties. Call or text 732-314-0777 to schedule your reading today.
And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out for 37.
Oh!
Burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it at Auto Club. Here comes Bentley Glazer. Does he time the move? He goes high. Shavana Black turns the 33.
Contact there entering turn 1.
Around goes the 9. Oh, he comes back up the track and he gets clobbered. Saya picks it up into the air. Hello and everybody, welcome to the Chicagoland Speedway for race number 14 of the BTDY Racing Series season and race number 2 of the BTDY Chase for the Cup. And I'm brought to you here by Martin Sports here at the Chicagoland Speedway. Missed last week, but glad to be back this week. And hello everybody, I'm Alec Martinez along with my producer and co-commentator Logan Thurkel. Logan, wild week in Atlanta last week. Bailey Turner closing the points gap up with the win in Atlanta, and a thrilling finish with Seth Hatchell and Adam Cabot. This week, back to normal, back to the cookie cutter style racetracks out here in Chicago. How are you feeling about getting out here in a hot, slick race out here in the Midwest?
Look, I'm so excited for tonight, especially after last week at Atlanta. You know, Jeff Wright came into this with a huge advantage in the points, and it is drastically dwindled with that Bailey Turner win and that Seth Hatchell second place finish last night.
It sure did, and let's take a look at our points here with Jeff Wright, your points leader with 2,062 points. Bailey Turner trailing 9 points behind them. Seth Hatchell, the two-time champion, trailing behind Jeff Wright, another one who does have a championship, looking for his second championship. And Bailey Turner, who has been the bridesmaid multiple times in his BTDY racing career, looking for that first championship. And I'm sure that he's really, really hungry and maybe even starving for that first championship. His qualifying on the racetrack is going on. Seth Hatchell on the pole at the moment. Keith Mayato in second, and then Adam Cabot, Jeff Wright, Bailey Turner, the top 5. And track position might mean a lot here when you got a stacked field as the top 10 going to be pretty stacked. And I'm curious to see. We saw in practice, Logan, a lot of moving around, and I don't know if we have the track facts or anything like that. I know there it is. Chicagoland Speedway, unfortunately, Cup Series doesn't go there anymore, but opened July 1st, 2001. Held its first race, 2001, that was won, I believe, by Jeff Gordon. And there you go, perfect mile and a half, a D-shaped oval, and 18 degrees of bankings. And I'll tell you what, we'll be able to see these guys run from bottom to top on the long runs, and I think that's going to be something very, very interesting that we're going to have to look forward to, especially as we get long runs, 120 laps, 180 miles, and then 4 sets of tires available, 3 sets going to be laying in the pits, 3 green, white, checkered attempts, and hopefully we won't have to use all of those, and 80% fuel window, looking about 50 laps, so that'll be 45 to 50 laps, and maybe 2 stopper if this race goes green, which we know it has gone green multiple times this year.
It certainly has, and I again say it every week, but it's going to be stacking up to be a really, really tough race tonight, especially with the heat and everything. Chicagoland's already a tough track, but if you look at the temperature right now, 118 degrees on that track surface already, and the race hasn't even started.
And I probably would have to assume that as more cars go onto the racetrack and get rubber down and more heat in the racetrack, that temperature will begin to rocket up a little bit. Will it skyrocket? Not sure. We saw Charlotte. The track temp was at a blistering 145, 148 degrees, I think, at the highest. That race won by Joshua Banks. Unfortunately, he's not on hand here tonight, but he is on hand for baby duty. We congratulate him and his wife on their second baby brought into the world for the Banks family. But as the cars begin to grid, Seth Hatchell will lead us to green here, and it'll be followed by his VSPEED teammate Keith Mayato, another one who's very good at Chicagoland. Seth Hatchell, a 31.661, beating Mayato by just a couple hundredths. Then row number 2 has Adam Cabot, the Magic Man, with Jeff Wright, the points leader, in 4th. Bailey Turner rolls off in 5th with Angelo Ronis, going to be rolling off in 6th. Brody Hayes comes in 7th with AJ Stravato, the Italian stallion, in 8th. Chris Samard comes in 9th, and Ray Massey rounds out the top 10 here to start this race.
Bringing up behind the top 10 in the 11th position, Noah Mahalski in the 03, next to Dallas Sullivan, taking home 12th. Colin Dice will be starting out in 13th here tonight, next to Cody Adkins in the 55. Max Cost in the 63 will place in 15th to start this race, next to the 80 of Dennis Fairclough. Demi Emanuele in the 39 will be in 17th, and Justin Carey will take home 18th. Dennis Steele will take 19th to start this race, with Robert Gilmore in the 4 to round out your top 20.
And Todd Giles Jr. will be rolling off here 21st and rounding out the 21-car field here tonight from the Chicagoland Speedway. And like we said, Seth Hatchell on the pole. And I got to ask you, Logan, before we take the green here, who is your pick here for tonight's Up There Disc Golf 180?
I really think I have to go with Seth on this one. He's shown me time and time again that he can drive at this racetrack, and placing on that pole position to start out is a great place to be. And he's got a head full of steam from last week.
Well, he is going to be a hard one to beat. I got to go with the guy who lead the points. He's so good here. He's won multiple times. I think this race, Jeff Wright is going to cement himself and put some points up ahead of Bailey Turner. Although We've seen it all before. You cannot make mistakes here tonight, and especially in a championship race. We saw Chris Samar get caught up in a wreck last week, a championship contender. A lot of guys, even AJ Stravado, lost points because he almost got turned with, I believe, 2 or 3 laps to go at the end of that race. So you cannot afford to give up valuable points, especially with fields that are going to get smaller and smaller. It is not probably the best idea to make a mistake and put yourself behind the 8 ball. Especially, I know we're only on race 2, but there's only 6 more races to go in this season. And again, remember, next week Iowa, then a road course walk. It's Glen Martinsville. We know that race might be crazy. Las Vegas, Bristol, and then Auto Club, the championship race, the 100-lap showdown in Southern California. And for everybody watching, we appreciate you all watching. As you can see the field rolling down the backstretch, everybody with a yellow banner is your Chase contenders here for the BTDY Cup, and everybody that has a white banner will be drivers not competing for the Chase, but don't forget they are still eligible to win this race, and a bonus for 13th in points. The guy, the highest finishing non-Chase driver, and a bonus tonight as well for the highest finishing non-Chase driver, as Seth Hatchell and Keith Mayata will lead them to the green flag, and all V-Speed front row as the pace car pulls off at a pit lane and into the restart zone. We go 180 miles, 120 laps, green flag, and we're racing at Chicagoland. Hatchell, not a good start, and look at this, 3 wide for the lead down the backstretch. Contact almost between the 2 teammates, and now it's 3 wide for second as Cabot on the bottom, Turner and Wright in the middle and top.
And Cabot wasting no time at all to try to make a move on that front row.
And here they come across the line. Seth Hatchell will lead lap 1. It's a battle for second. Mayata crosses over in front of Jeff Wright. Wright, who's next to the 17 Adam Cabot, and Wright utilizing that outside lane, slides up the racetrack, almost up into the outside wall, slipping, sliding around on this hot asphalt. And now here comes Bailey Turner, 3 wide, 2 rows, a 3 wide. There's Stravado underneath Hayes and Ronas, and now a battle for the lead as Mayata dives it into turn number 3 for the lead. Still side by side between the teammates at the start-finish line. Keith Mayata gets the nod for the lap lead, as they'll still be side by side at turn 1 now. Side by side for the lead, and the guys behind them in third, right on the outside. Cabot on the inside, getting loose, taking the side force away. And you can see Cabot loose on the bottom. Will have to tuck in behind Jeff Wright, although stays on the inside quarter panel as Hatchell clears teammate Mayata once again for the lead. And now Wright going to get a big run here off the outside lane.
There's already been a lot more action than I would have thought to start this race here at Chicagoland, but I'm not going to complain. I would love it if these guys can keep this battle up the whole race. It's going to chew up tires, but it sure will make for good TV.
And there goes Jeff Wright to second by Keith Mayata, another Chase contender. Adam Cabot currently the highest non-Chase contender, as there are, I believe, 8 of the top 10 in points inside the top 10 of this race here so far. So far, everybody getting, looks like settled in side by side. Everybody jockeying for position the first couple of laps, but now single file until we get to Dallas Sullivan and Cody Atkins, as well as, I believe that's Noah Mahalski making a move on Angelo Veronis. That's Dallas Sullivan in that 46 car, and teammate Alan Dice in the 5 car, or that Affinity for Gaming Chevrolet Camaro, and behind them, here comes Cody Atkins in the 55 car, and an Octane 46 going to get loose underneath the 5 there. A lot of side force coming off that Mustang. And on board with Cody Atkins in that Dukes Mayo Chevrolet Camaro, he's got a pretty big run in behind him. You hear him lift off the gas, gonna roll through the center of the corner, get back on it. As you can see, looks like Solon's just a little bit loose there on the bottom of Dice, and Dice doing a great job on that defensive line into turn 3. And I believe today we're gonna have to probably see a lot of slide jobs. You're gonna see guys, as this run goes on, maybe move up, try to get momentum, carry momentum on the outside, as guys are gonna have to dive in on the bottom and maybe slide up in front of somebody. And we know 2018 Chicagoland, Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch, and Dale Jr.'s famous call of the slide job was right here in turns 1 and 2. As right now, nobody looking to slide job anybody at the moment, as single file throughout the top 10 until we're still battling for 12th with Alan Dice and Dallas Sullivan. They can't really afford to burn up their tires too much and lose touch with the 77 car, who's in 11th.
Yeah, it's going to be a fine line of just how hard you can press the guy to your outside or the guy to your inside, especially this early on in the race. Tires are going to be ever so important here.
Yes, they are. We know the tires really tend to fall off in practice. It looked like about 2.5 tenths of fall off, and right now, a half a second in the first 8 laps of this race. So if that's going on, maybe we'll see 3 seconds of fall off maybe throughout the days. Oh, Dallas Sullivan, big slide in the back, down the backstretch off turn 2 underneath the 5. He'll not be able to get that spot. And he might lose a spot to Cody Atkins, but Atkins gives him a little bit of room.
A little bit of breathing room will go a long way. You see that 46 of Dallas Sullivan, he's making up time once again on Alan Dice.
He has it. Seth Hatchell's pulled a half a second lead in that clean air, and the 8 car looks pretty good. And we saw him in the All-Star race in absolute clinic. Had a great run. Was about a half a car length shy of winning the race at Atlanta. Good momentum for the 8 car. And there's anybody you don't want to give momentum to, it's probably Seth Hatchell and Jeff Wright. And I know those two, the top 2 in this race. As everybody's still single file on the racetrack so far. No guys battling still. I think there's still a battle between Dallas Sullivan, who's been the man of action so far, and we might have 3 wide here in the middle of the pack here. This is the battle for 12th all the way to 14th. All 3 of these guys, Team H, Justin Carey, a little bit behind them, running them down. And there goes Dallas Sullivan past Alan Dice in the 5, and Sullivan moves back up to 12th, and Cody Atkins looking to find a way around Alan Dice now, who's maybe starting to slip back just a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit, and now he's under fire from the 55 car, and as well 21 in the 80 car, both starting to run them down here as these guys continue to battle. And these guys kind of lost a little bit of touch, about a second now to Chris Samard and Noah Mahalski trying to find a way around Angelo Ronis. AJ Stravato trying to find a way around Bailey Turner for 5th.
Bailey's not going to be an easy one to pass by any means. You know, he's hot off that win last week, so he's got a lot of momentum coming in tonight, but we'll see if he really tries to put anything on the table too early.
Might not lay it down on the line right now. As here comes Brody Hayes, big slide off the apron, and that apron gets a lot of the rubber down there, so if you hit it wrong, you might just slide up and lose momentum down the straightaways. Looks like AJ Stravato going to keep momentum. How about this? Noah Mahalski got by Angelo Rodas, now trying to get by Brody Hayes. And Mahalski continues to impress. He's just so good in this race car. And I'm noticing, man, the more he runs up at the front, the more he continues to learn, the better he gets. Is right now still trying to find a way around Brody Hayes, who's up on the outside. And there goes Mahalski cutting that apron down. He's going to slide up. You can see loses momentum, slides down a little, or slides up the apron a little bit. And that just seemed to be able to keep it flat out there. He's going to get pinched on the bottom there with the 37. He'll lose a little bit of side force, and Hayes will clear now. Won't be able to get in front of the 29, and now Ronis trying to get that spot back.
Yeah, as you were saying there, Mahalski just continues to improve week by week, and you can see it on the track and in the stats.
He has running good in the points. I believe he was 8th in the points standings, if I'm not mistaken, and I'll make sure I double check that for myself. But yes, Noah Mahalski was actually was 9th, but he will move up to 8th with no Nick Starling in the field. Hope everything's all right with Nick as he's dealing with some personal matters as he isn't here tonight, but we are hoping all the best there. Is how about this? AJ Stravato to the outside of Bailey Turner, and this will be interesting to see. Is Turner losing some spots to Wright, who is in 2nd? Maybe saving those tires. We know he's willing to save fuel, save tires here, but is he going to work on this longer run? We expect for anywhere from 45 to 50 laps on these tires before we're going to see guys pit. So what will that mean for this first run? Do you run it long in the first run and then short, 2nd and 3rd one, or do you run long, and short?
You know, I think tires are going to be so important at the end. You might want to go for a shorter stint to end the race. Have a little bit more tire, but I'm no racing professional. I'll stick to being in the booth whenever it comes to strategy 99% of the time, but that's just my 2 cents at least.
We know Jeff Wright's not afraid to throw some strategy into the ring if it takes himself or gives himself a shot at the win. Is right now still about 6/10 of a second back from Seth Hatchell, who has led all but one lap in this race. He didn't lead the lap or who led the other lap, you might be asking, was his teammate Keith Mayato, who's in third and has kind of started to run down Jeff Wright a little bit more and closes it in here on the 48.
You're the driver of the 8 car. That's exactly what you want to see right now, is somebody to battle Jeff Wright, make him use up his tires. You know, Seth currently sitting 13 points back from Jeff in third place at the moment.
Jeff.
It's a big slide out of 2.
I was noticing on the start of the race, he had a big slide at the beginning of it, and now I'm wondering, are all these slides that he's having, are these affecting these rear tires here? Maybe not being able to get on the gas sooner, or as soon as maybe the 36 car, because you could see Jeff struggling a little bit as this run continues to go on, and you know that could bite him, especially if we go 40, 45, 50 laps. Could see that 48 struggle, especially if he continues to race more guys. And big slide out of Mayato there, but all these guys seeming to slipping and sliding around there. And, oh, Jeff almost catches the wall as there's Keith Mayato slipping and sliding off the corner. Going to be a tough pass, and I think we know Jeff's going to be, you know, he's not going to relinquish the spot. And as that happens, Bailey Turner loses another spot to Brody Hayes.
Speaking of movement here,
Jeff caught the wall there with the right rear. Here comes Mayato to the bottom. Might be able to slide up here. No, he won't. Might have to do a slide job in a 1. He won't. It is about that. Jeff Wright gives the position to Keith Mayato, and Mayato to second. And here comes Cabot and Stravato.
Cabot is exactly who I was about to mention there. He made up quite a bit of ground there while Mayato and Wright were side by side. And now he's looking to take away that third position from Jeff Wright.
And he is. And as Jeff falls back, he falls back to Bailey Turner, but Bailey Turner's got a fight on his hands. Is that right there? You can see him just clear Brody Hayes at the top of your screen, and now he's settled back into 6th, and Hayes back into 7th. But this battle, I'll tell you what the front is. Oh, Jeff Wright, big slide into turn number 1, and that 48 car not handling well at all. Look at that, another big slide for the 48, and right now those tires are shredding off the 48 car.
Not too sure what's happening with Jeff Wright right now, but 1 and 2 are a huge problem area for him right now. When he's coming through there, you can see the back end of that 48 wiggling a lot more than anybody else on the racing surface.
So surprised as Jeff, this tends to be one of his better tracks, and right now just not having the pace, and I don't think he's going to have the tires much right now. Is that 48 is just losing. Look at that. You can see on board with AJ Stravato, that 48 is wicked loose, and he is falling off of a cliff right now, and he almost catches the wall. He does catch the wall off of turn 2, but the 48 car struggling, and here comes the 24. Bailey Turner, the driver, he is trying to find in points. Turner's going to go by here, and I think Hayes, the 48, is just falling through the field.
You hate to see it for your points leader, but he's got to figure it out before the end of the race. You know, we're still very, very early, but
I'll tell you who loves to see that. Seth Hatchell, he has got an 8/10 of a second lead over Keith Mayato, his teammate, and there's a big slide out of right there this time. Oh, he's in the wall. And Jeff Wright catches the wall. He's going to lose another spot to Brody Hayes, and now right down to 7th. And that's a lot of points, especially if Seth Hatchell can lead the most laps and win this race. That's a bonus point as well as winning the race. I mean, that's extra points for him as well.
Absolutely. We're going to hop on with Angela Ronas here to watch how Jeff Wright is just not able to really grasp this 1 and 2.
It's just that he just hangs the right rear out a little bit more, and you can see it's just he's sliding around a little bit. Oh no, Mahowski hard into the wall off of turn number 2, and now maybe some significant right side damage to the 03 as he's going to lose a spot to Ray Massey. Sure how much damage he has, but he caught the wall very good off turn 2. It doesn't look too bad as though you can see that. Look at that, shoving the 23 into the corner. And up at the front, Adam Cabot side by side with Keith Mayato for second. Oh man, they squeeze up off the corner of a turn 2, and the 17 car showing some speed later in this run. 25 laps about to go on the tires, and Cabot, the Magic Man, moves into second, the highest non-chase driver in the field, up to second, and Keith Mayato back to third. AJ Stravato in fourth. I'll tell you what, who's got a really good car and maybe a sleeper in this race. Ray Massey. He's won here before in other leagues. I've seen it before, and Massey's got a good car. He's about the third fastest car on the racetrack that last time. So I think Ray Massey has a trick up his sleeve, although he's going to maybe have to fight off the 03 here for the ninth position. And Jeff Wright has lost another spot to Angelo Ronis into 8th. And these two that are even battling side by side are running down the 48. Big moment there for Mahalski. And he'll lose that spot back to Ray Massey. And here comes Chris Samard closing in on the battle. Samard going low on Mahalski here for 10th on the racetrack, and Massey in 9th. And Jeff Wright back in 8th as Timmy Emanuele, I believe. Oh, sorry, Dallas Sullivan had a moment down the front stretch, it seemed. Oh, yeah, he was in the infield grass the last lap.
Oh.
He got, looks good case of loose there off the corner, and looks like he went around there. No caution as he's falling back to the clutches of Timmy Emanuele and Todd Giles Jr. in the 25 car in 18th. In that car, a High Rock vodka car, a Dale Jr. vodka, if you so will. And I tell you what, Todd Gillis, rookie, is his first race of the season, and getting acclimated to the conditions, acclimated to the Xfinity car, and of course acclimated to the drivers of BTDY. And tell you what, he's having a solid run, keeping it clean, and that's what you need to do. But Todd Giles Jr., somebody that hopefully will be in the field a little more often here as we see him on the racetrack. So, but the front though, things kind of in Seth Hatchell's control as Adam Cabot, Keith Mayato still going on, and Bailey Turner starting to come alive.
Bailey Turner's made up a lot of ground here since the beginning of the race, back up into the 5th position now. And, you know, one thing
those tires.
That's going to be so important tonight, and especially, you know, to gain points on Jeff Wright. He's putting himself in a fantastic position to do something, maybe even take over the points lead.
Well, I think he's gaining on Jeff Wright, but remember, he's also losing to Seth Hatchell right now. And Hatchell only, 4 points behind him? Seth Hatchell very well could take the points lead after this race is over. So I think what we're looking at here, and don't even count out AJ Stravado as well, but, you know, we're looking at a 4-horse fight here for what could be the championship. And, you know, there's many tracks to go. Next week, Iowa, a short track kind of race that could fit into the hands of Bailey Turner. And AJ Stravado, you know, he's 28 points back, but he's gaining slowly but surely. Keith Mayato is the other one in 4th in points, not too far behind, only 19 points. He's ahead of Jeff Wright by a lot. Brody Hayes is ahead of Jeff Wright. So all these guys gaining. As Jeff Wright falls back, they gain more, of course, as you know, that's how it works. I guess it's simple math that I can do, apparently. But yeah, no, I think Jeff, you know, what he needs to do is, and soon, he needs to not lose too much more time to these guys. Don't lose too much more time. Regroup. He probably knows what he did wrong at the beginning of this run to fix it in that next run. But Jeff cannot afford to make a mistake. He can't overcompensate on his pit entry speed on pit road, because then he falls back to 18.
That would be the worst case scenario for that 48 car if that was to happen. So fingers crossed. I'm with you. I think he's got it settled down now. He's got to have some sort of a different strategy going into the second stint of tires.
Tell you what,
if there's one person that can, you know, adapt to stuff like that, it is the driver of the 48.
Tell you what, Keith Mayato figured out something on the top in 3 and 4, and now he is side by side with Adam Cabot. He's going to slide underneath of him. Very loose is the 36, and Cabot holds on. But, man, Keith Mayato really loose underneath the 17. It looked like he lost side force. And now here comes Cabot to take that line away. And I've noticed these guys moving around on the top, moving around all over the racetrack. Seth Hatch, the leader's been just glued to that white line in the bottom.
This, arguably... go ahead, Alec.
Oh, sorry, Bailey Turner looking to make a move on teammate AJ Stravado for 4th. But, yes, these cars slipping and sliding around, searching for grip now. And sorry to cut you off, but I noticed Bailey was starting to move underneath the 33.
Oh, absolutely. Rather get the camera on the action, but I was just going to say Chicagoland, probably one of my least favorite tracks. I cannot seem to figure this place out, so I 100% understand the struggles with some of these guys. But,
I took a keen to Chicagoland. I love this track. Hate that NASCAR took the data. I know they're at the street course in the city, but this track has always been great, and I know As the years go on, this track kind of sitting all by itself and hopefully not rotting away, but it's all by itself, left unattended. And unfortunately, this track just sits there. And I think it was worthy of a cup racing date or worthy of a NASCAR weekend, and doesn't have that anymore. And if you look at Midwest, they just got a race in Iowa this past weekend that Ryan Blaney won, had a sold out crowd, and man, that place was jumping, and it looked really good. And maybe bring more races to the Midwest is a possibility. I know a lot of tracks have 2 dates, and hearing rumors that Gateway in St. Louis is going to be moved to the playoffs next year for the Cup Series. So it's just, a lot of things in the Midwest. They need some tracks too. The East Coast obviously takes up most of it, but the Midwest deserves a track, and I think Chicagoland is one of those tracks that deserves a date.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you on that. That's a very valid point. And, after visiting Worldwide Tech a couple weeks ago for the truck race, it's the atmosphere in the Midwest for racing. It's there. So to take that away from Chicago, it's an odd decision, but maybe we'll see a resurgence up there at some point and see this track back on the schedule.
Yeah, heck, Road America had a date a couple years ago. Unfortunately, they took that one off the schedule, but we'll see. We'll see. I know IndyCar going to Road America, Milwaukee, I believe, another one in Wisconsin that you'll see IndyCar. I believe the Truck Series going there later this year for a playoff race. So yeah, we'll hopefully. I think more series are starting to key in. Hey, there's race fans in the Midwest. They care about racing, and no, Mahalski getting into the wall there, but yeah, I think the fans care, and NASCAR and all the racing series know that the Midwest cares about racing, and that they deserve to get a couple shows around their area. And speaking of a show, Keith Mayato and Adam Cabot are putting one on as they are battling for second still, as Seth Hatchell has moved that lead over a second now.
Seth has really got an impressive pace tonight.
He's going to have a big run off the top here. Will he be able to even close up to the 17? Gets a good run, but doesn't close up enough to maybe get there in time. Uses the draft down the straightaway, but still stays second. And I see Cabot has moved back down to the inside of the racetrack. Cooking, just missing the bottom a little bit. Seems to just be struggling a little bit tighter on the bottom and hasn't really gained a lot of time on Hatchell. And it sounds like 17 might be bringing it in pit road here a little early.
I go for the undercut.
See what this does is here it comes Adam Cabot to pit road. Doesn't need a speed, cannot afford to speed, as he's got a chance to win this race. As you can see the field coming down pit road, and looks like there's another car pit. Oh, Jeff Wright into pit road. Here comes Ray Massey to pit road, and I believe those are the only 3 bringing it in very early. Does this force the hand of Seth Hatchell or maybe Keith Mayato to bring it in, or do they try a little bit more of an overcut?
I would have to say with the pace that those two drivers had. I have to say, with the pace that the 8 cars had, as he is going to come down pit road this time around.
Yeah, wow. Interesting. So Hatchell in there because Keith Mayato behind him. Brody Hayes, all the VSPEED cars in. Angelo Ronas in pit road, so that leaves Travato Turner to go on a little bit longer of a run and try to the overcut. Samard stays out. Cody Atkins stays out. Justin Carey, Dennis Faircloth, and Cabot missing his pit box. Reeled Jeff Wright back into the fray.
Oh, yeah. That's... I was thinking about Cabot earlier. He's got a huge chip on his shoulder this week, finishing in 3rd last week and just barely missing the cut for the chase. He's going to be out here racing as hard as he can every single week just to prove that he should have been up there.
And Hatchell out of pit road. He's going to get lapped by the 33 and 24. The 17 will be coming around the corner very soon, as here he is into 1 at full song. And off of pit road, Hatchell exiting, as down the backstretch he'll go. I think he's still going to stay ahead of Adam Cabot. Keith Mayato got walked that entire time. He actually lost 2.5 seconds to Seth Hatchell in that pit cycle, just in that pit cycle all in itself. Right there, a second slower pit stop, and was slower in and out of the box was the 36, so loses a spot to Cabot and loses a spot to Wright. And here comes AJ Stravato to pit road.
So as it sits right now, Seth Hatchell will resume
Stravato
the
misses
lead.
his box.
A lot of guys struggling with the box tonight.
Is Bailey Turner still out on the racetrack, and I try to go extra long here?
They'll have, looks like, 4 drivers out there on old tires. I think maybe down to 3.
Goes Stravato out of pit road here. Yes, so Turner, Faircloth, Emanuele, and Sullivan, the cars that have yet to bring it in, and with little cars in the field so far, I don't know if we're going to get a caution here tonight.
These guys can keep driving as clean as they are. It has a very high possibility going this full 120 laps completely green.
It is very possible, as here we go, as there's Cabot and Hatchell unlapping themselves. Keith Mayato has now caught Jeff Wright here. That's going to be the battle here for what is 7th on the racetrack. We'll see once it cycles out here, but looks like Wright going to have to get caught up there on the exit. Should allow Mayato, who does have fresher tires, to get a run on him down the backstretch, and it sounds like Bailey Turner going to bring it in this time.
Think honestly, Alec, that call by Bailey Turner to stay out these extra couple laps, it's not going to pay off well for him. He's going to lose a lot of positioning and a lot of time.
Short run. It won't pay off in the short run. We'll see how it. Oh, that might not pay off as he is sideways in a pit road, and he almost spun it out on the entry.
Just barely caught that at the top of the screen there.
Did he make it on speed? It looked like he made it on speed. He was sideways as Dennis Faircloth going to lead a lap here. He'll be the leader. Timmy Emanuele and Dallas Sullivan still staying on the racetrack. So the 80, your leader, and hoping to catch a caution to cycle out to the front as everybody, 16 cars on the lead lap, as Keith Mayato now under pressure, starting to pressure the 48 of Jeff Wright.
Finally worked his way up to the back end of that 48 car. Took him a couple laps, but he's here now.
Well, Jeff's starting to figure it out a little bit more, but Keith's going to have a big run here down the backstretch. Where does he go with it? Goes to the inside. Jeff going to have that preferred defensive line on the outside. Also, the 17 going to be right in front of Keith Mayato in the dirty air here. We'll see. Although Mayato going to try to pinch the 48 up, although the 48 might just get another spot here as Cabot goes to go defensive, but Wright gets to the outside.
Wright's got a lot of speed around the outside of this track.
He does, and he'll get Cabot down the backstretch. Where does Keith Mayato go? He goes to the inside, doesn't want to pass him outside here. Now Cabot relinquishes the spot and will lose 2, one to the 36 and one to the 48, and Cabot falls back to 6th on the racetrack. We will be 4th once the cycle goes out as Dallas Sullivan, Timmy Emanuele on the racetrack. Todd Giles Jr. brought it into the pit road that last lap. I believe might have had a penalty as he is sitting 4 laps down now. But everybody keeping it going here. This is good battle here on the racetrack. We'll be 2nd on the racetrack is Seth Hatchell, 2 seconds behind Jeff Wright, or 2 seconds ahead of Jeff Wright, excuse me, as those guys battling, and Seth may be taking care of his tires. These guys, well, it doesn't look like they are.
Yeah, there's no chance that they are able to conserve any sort of tire whenever they've been side by side, on and off for the last 5 laps already.
Emanuele brought it to pit lane, and now finally can Keith Mayato clear Jeff Wright off of turn 2. He's going to have a good chance. Is Wright going to have a big run, but give it to the 36. Keith Mayato gets gets 3rd away from Jeff Wright. Will be 2nd. What's Timmy Emanuele brings it to pit road, who led the last lap, but the 39 coming into pit road, which will hand the lead back over to Seth Hatchell.
Seth Hatchell has a huge lead right now, closing in on 2 1/4 seconds.
And like you said, I don't know, just those 3 laps that Stravato stayed out, and the 5 laps that Turner stayed out, they're 7 and 9 seconds back. And Stravato battling with Hayes, so that it's more time that 33's getting caught up here.
The under definitely seems to be the better strategy at the moment. We'll have to just keep an eye on Bailey Turner. He's got about 6 lap newer tires than Jeff Wright and Seth Hatchell. See if he can start working his way back through the field and catch up with them, and see if he can make that longer stint.
Half a second faster. Not bad there for the 24, although he's going to have some traffic to run into. So we'll see as Tim Emanuele and merges back onto the racetrack here in that blue and white Toyota Supra, and led a couple laps. His teammate Dallas Sullivan led a couple laps on an alternate strategy way later. They have about 11 lap fresher tires. Is Turner going to go underneath Emanuele? And first car lap down is Dallas Sullivan, Dennis Faircloth on the racetrack. Last car on lead lap in 15th.
Unfortunately, did not see what happened to the 4-car of Robert Gilmore and the 63 of Max Koss. Both have chosen an early retirement from this race. I believe Max was having some internet issues in practice, so I would say that's likely what caused his. Not sure at all with Robert Gilmore.
Yeah, unfortunate for Happy Gilmore, who's going to see him back on the racetrack here tonight, but only going to be short-lived as in that Kodak car, that 4 throwback car was to Sterling Marlin, who he's always been a big fan of. And here comes Bailey Turner around the outside of, or excuse the inside of Brody Hayes here, and going to move him out of the way, and those fresher tires starting to pay off as here comes Turner down to the inside for 8th. And behind them, Chris Samard. I know you had the battle on them. Chris Samard, Noah Mahalski. Oh, Samard in the outside wall. Just seemed to overstep it a little bit. And Samard got the wall. Here comes Cody Atkins to get that spot away. And now working on Noah Mahalski in the 03 for 10th. Good battle here. This is just outside, or for 10th on the racetrack. So 2 cars outside, 1 inside the top 10. And Turner is still working to find, or looking to find a way around AJ Stravato. I think that maybe that overcut, not a small overcut, but a big overcut, might be the paying dividends here for Bailey Turner as he's underneath Stravato for 7th. And Stravato lets him have it.
Since I mentioned that overcut, he has gained 2 positions, so it seems that the fresher tires are going to be in his favor, but the question is for how long?
Yeah, when will he even off? Right now, still 0.4 of a second a lap faster. When will he hit that cliff? Will he be faster, or will they even out as the run goes on? Is setting his sights on Angelo Ronis here. And Jeff Wright, all of that struggling at the beginning of the run, has managed to rebound up to 3rd.
It's rebounded up to 3rd, but Keith Maiotto's still 2 seconds behind Seth Hatchell, and Jeff Wright 1 second behind Keith. So it's not close up here in the top 4.
No, it's very spread out as Turner gets another spot here underneath Angelo Ronis here for 6th, and now we'll work to get by Ray Massey, who is in 5th. And it seems like these last few weeks it's been Turner and Hatchell kind of been the 2 guys trading blows week after week. The All-Star race was one of them. I believe last week at Atlanta was one of them, and I think even before that, the regular season finale was Bailey Turner, Seth Hatchell, Jeff Wright, and Joshua Banks. So all these guys kind of trading blows with each other the last couple of weeks. They've been the big 4, really, or big 3, as there goes Turner back down in the head of Ray Massey and into 5th.
Turner is making a ton of ground right now.
Now, last time passing cars, he was still faster than the leader, Seth Hatchell, by 4.5 tenths. And will those tires even out? But right now, I'll tell you what, he was 10 seconds back 10 laps ago. Well, he's 5 seconds back now. So he is starting to roll that 24 car. Is it going to be enough to run Hatchell down all the way again? As Hatchell is well clear of Keith Mild, 2.3 seconds to lead, and Seth Hatchell in that clean air. That car looks almost unbeatable.
Clean air is going to be so big of a factor for Seth Hatchell to keep that lead, just keep the aero perfectly where he needs it to be. But the question will be, whenever he finally catches up to the back end of the pack, how is he going to be able to handle that? Because he hasn't really been in a situation yet with dirty air.
No, but I think with so little of cars on the racetrack, it's going to be hard for him to deal with traffic. And how about this? Good battle, Ray Massey and Angelo Ronis. That's for 7th on the racetrack. And Timmy Manueli, one of the cars on fresher tires, lap car though. Closing in on these battles, probably be respectful of them and let him duke it out first before he thinks about passing. As he goes, Ronis dives into turn number 1 underneath the 23, but the 23 fighting hard on the outside. Although Manueli got to take him 3 here. Ronis clears the 23, 2 Mustangs battling, and a Supra to the bottom. And there goes Emanuele back around Angelo Ronis. And Emanuele with way fresher tires will do his thing and probably pull away, as Turner that last time only 0.3 faster. So maybe the tires now starting to equal out a little bit Although Jeff Wright, man, that rebounded up to third, man, he is just he finds ways, and surprised Adam Cabot pitted ahead of him. I know he missed his box, but he pitted ahead of him, had a better stop, and right now it just doesn't seem like he has the better tires. He's still just struggling.
Like you mentioned earlier, it's really just boiled down to Jeff Wright figured out what he messed up on that first stint. He corrected it, and now he's putting together a very solid run on this second set of tires.
We'll see what he does. They have 21 laps on the tires. At least Seth Hatcher does 22 laps on Wright and Cabot, and only 16 on Bailey Turner, who is coming behind these two. There's Keith Mayato going to get passed by the lap car of Dallas Sullivan, the first car a lap down. But tell you what, man, the 24, that strategy, overcut strategy, it's looking good enough for maybe second. But 3 seconds up the road is obviously Seth Hatchell, or 4 seconds for him at least, but only 3 seconds up, or only a 2 seconds separating second all the way to Bailey Turner. So second, third, and fourth, right ahead of Bailey Turner. Only a second in between with 3 cars. Here comes Turner to the bottom, and as I said, Cabot was losing time to Wright. Well, he's catching Jeff Wright, and so is the 24. As Cabot, big run on the 48. Where will he go? He goes to the bottom, dives it into turn number 3, and maybe Bailey Turner going to follow right with him. As right now, Wright slides up the track, so does Cabot. Here comes Turner to the bottom. Cabot throws a block on Wright, and Wright tries to cross him over, but he gets stuck behind the 17. Now goes way up the racetrack, trying to carry momentum. Cabot, we'll see if he'll be able to clear on the outside. He will. I believe Turner's going to pinch right up behind the 17, so he can't get by him.
This is 3 big names just duking it out right now. 2, of course, in the chase, 1 not. But
a champion.
Yes, exactly. A previous champion here within BTDY, so whew, that got a little hairy there for a second. I was on the edge of my seat, Alec.
Yeah, it was tight there, and now there goes Cabot to third. Turner looking for third, but he's currently running fourth with about 6 lap fresher tires in the 17. And Jeff Wright is falling back to fifth. Emanuele, the lap car, closing in on those battles with significantly fresher tires and everybody in the field. So he'll probably pick and choose his way through the field, although Cabot doing a good job holding off the 24, but Bailey needs to find a way around him quick if he wants to start gaining time on Hatchell.
He has still slowly been gaining time on Hatchell, but in the meantime, Keith Mayato in the 36 losing time to Seth Hatchell, now with a lead of 3 seconds over second place.
Oh, this time Turner with a big run. Cabot didn't really want to let him go, and Cabot, you can tell, is pushing that car just a little bit harder, but Turner goes to the bottom, and I'm not sure if Cabot's going to be able to hold off the 24 with fresher tires, although this time, momentum coming from the 17. Turner comes up, but here comes Cabot with the crossover back down to the apron and across the start-finish line. Won't be able to clear back in front of the 24, but now rolls reverse into turn number 1 as Cabot on the inside, Turner on the outside. Turner slides the rear end into the corner, and Cabot not going to be able to carry as much momentum on the outside, but he'll pull up door to door behind, next to him down the backstretch and side draft, and we'll see if he'll be able to hold him off here into 3. 17 sends it to the inside. Turner runs on the door. Cabot has to get really loose. No side force, no side bite, and Turner uses momentum, but he's still not clear of the 17.
Adam Cabot's not going to let him go by easily at all.
Side drafted him too. Oh, Turner hits the bump, knocks the car sideways. Cabot back down underneath him, but this time Turner's going to have a big run off of 2. But Cabot pulls even with him, gets loose. Will he be able to side draft? No, he won't, and Turner finally gets the spot. And Turner to third, and he is running down Keith Mayato. Both of these cars running down Keith Mayato, and Jeff Wright starting to fall back to the clutches of AJ Stravato.
Slowly but surely, still got some space between the 48 and the 33, but Stravato does have quite a better pace right now, almost 0.2 of a second faster than Jeff Wright that last time around.
We'll see this time what the difference on tires is going to be, if maybe the battling with Adam Cabot is going to finally even out the tires with Bailey Turner, who seems to be, we'll see this last time, It was Hatchell 33.4, Mayato 33.5, Turner a 33.4. So tires starting to even out. How about this battle? Chris Samard, Noah Mahalski, and Cody Atkins. That's the battle for 10th on the racetrack.
These three drivers just can't seem to get away from each other at all. They've been in a battle for 69 laps.
Nice. I mean, look at these guys. They are going at it right now. Mahalski holding on, and it looks like Samar doing a good job, but Mahalski's been a great job. And I'll tell you what, racing Noah the last couple of weeks and seeing him race, man, he is one tough nut to crack. He is very hard to pass. He's really good at defensive driving, and I think Saturday night got second in the Saturday Night Racing finale, holding off Bailey Turner. And you know, Noah's really good at defending, and right now doing another brilliant job of defending the cars behind him that are faster than him.
Look at this. AJ Stravato's finally worked his way up to the back end of the 48 car.
And Wright doesn't seem to have the long run pace. That last time, a 33.6, Stravato a 33.4, so the 48 starting to fall off that cliff again. And there goes Stravato. The outside should have no problem getting around the 48, who's just struggling with the rear grip all night. Just doesn't have the turn, the rotation off the corner, and at least the power down. He doesn't seem to have that. He's been struggling with that all night. Interesting as well is Stravato finally still trying to find a way to get around him, but this time he'll clear. But Dallas Sullivan ran down our leader Seth Hatchell, and Hatchell might have to deal with Dirty A here for the first time tonight if the 46 gets around him.
Realistically, Sullivan should make quick work of Seth Hatchell here with almost 10 lap pressure tires.
Keith Mayato still holding off Bailey Turner here for second, but Turner, he's trying to find a way, and Cabot's kind of kept them in sight. Stravato's just losing them a little bit, hasn't really gained or lost, kind of stayed stable, stationary in fifth, and then Wright slowly but surely falling back. Angelo Ronas and Brody Hayes starting to run him down.
Looks like Abbott might be making up some time on Bailey Turner's. Bailey just can't seem to get around Keith Mayato's. You see Turner get loose there coming into turn 4.
I think he's right in the dirty air of the 36, but this time he's under him. He's going to have to probably throw a slider because I don't think Mayato's just going to let him go here. We'll see. As into the corner, look at that. Big send for the 24. Slide job into turns 1 and 2. Going to lose all that momentum, and here comes Mayato with the crossover. Will it work for Turner? There's contact down the backstretch, and Mayato back underneath. Turner goes to side draft. Mayato going to throw it into 1 or into 3. We'll see if he clears the 24. He does, but Turner going to try to cross him back over, get underneath him, and there he is. Although he gets loose, so does the 36, and here comes Cabot. Great battling here for second on the racetrack, all happening 4 seconds behind Seth Hatchell, and Mayato sends it in that time. Turner sent it in that time, slides up the racetrack. Here comes Cabot. They both slide up. They both lose time, and here comes Cabot. Does he take them 3 wide? He gives a shove to Turner down the backstretch and into 3. And they still say side by side on board with Timmy Emanuele, the lap car, going to let these guys kind of race on. But boy, I'm glad we have an onboard camera for this, because he's got a front row seat to second, third, and fourth, all battling for 1 position in second. And like I said, 4 seconds behind Seth Hatchell. Another slide job from Bailey Turner. This time he's going to do it, but here comes Mayato to the middle. Cabot squeezes him up the middle, and here comes Cabot trying to hit the 2-for-1 special into turn number 3. Cabot slides up, Mayato slides up, and all on in front of Timmy Emanuele. Cabot gets the spot, Turner taps the wall, and Cabot gets both of them, but can he defend in front of Turner? Looks like Mayato giving a push to Cabot into turn 3, and now into turn into turn 1, and now Turner with the preferred lane on the outside. Although he gets loose, and now Cabot slides up.
You know, if you're one person right now, the best news that you're getting is being fed from your teammate. Keith Mayato's gotta be.
Teammates. And you got to remember that these two, the 17 and 24 teammates, they lean on each other. Mayato, you're going to have a big run down the front stretch.
I was thinking in terms of Mayato letting Seth know all this action going on behind him, as Seth is closing in on a 5-second lead to second place now because of all
Cabot got
this.
loose. Cabot got really loose on the bottom of Turner. Turner still utilizing that outside lane. This time, he might clear into 3. Cabot still on the quarter panel. We'll see if Turner shuts the door into 3. No, he doesn't. Now Cabot sends it back underneath him. And these two teammates, Turner battling for a championship. Cabot is not. They both slide up the racetrack. They almost make contact down the front stretch, and they're still side by side. Here comes Keith Mayato with the run as these two almost door banging each other into turn number 1. And this time, we'll see Cabot send it in hard. Turner sends it in hard in the middle, and this time we'll see if Turner can clear off of 2. Oh man, they almost make contact again, and Turner still just stuck side by side there with 17 of Cabot. Oh, Cabot, big slide. Let's see Turner gonna try to cross over here. Oh, Mayato using the outside lane. He's gonna have a big run. Turner back down to the inside. Look at Mayato, big run. Where does he go? This time, Turner's going to probably throw a slide job into 1. There it is. Turner throws it in. Slide job in front of the 17. Losing momentum, though. Here comes Cabot with the run. Now they're 3 wide again. No, Cabot now clears Mayato, and he's back underneath Turner. And Cabot gets the spot. Turner is going to have a big run here off of turn number 4, although this time stalls out, and here comes AJ Servato to pit road.
Yeah, Alec,
He can undercut them.
Completely lost track of where we at on our stints here. This racing is just so captivating right now.
It is, and all that tire saving for Cabot seems to have paid off, and that, honestly, all this battling has brought Jeff Wright back into the picture. Angelo Ronis, Brody Hayes kind of coming in, and here comes Keith Mayato to pit road. Oh, Timmy Emanuele almost gets into him, but Mayato to pit road. And Seth Hatchell can basically pit when he wants because he has got a 5-second lead over these two that are still battling, and Cabot has managed to hold on to the spot here. Now here comes Turner with the good run. And we know Turner has the quicker tires, so here comes Seth Hatchell to pit road. Adam Cabot now pitting here. Jeff Wright coming to pit road. Angelo Ronis to pit road. Oh, Cabot slides in. Wright slides in hard.
All 3 of them. Even Angelo Ronis locked him up there. Woo.
See if any of them maybe got penalties. I don't know if they did, but Turner now has the lead. Hayes stays out another lap. Seth Hatchell is in. Chris Samard stays out 1 more lap. Cody Atkins in. Dallas Sullivan out still. And Timmy Emanuele still out on the racetrack.
Oh man, Alec, that was
that was a good sequence of racing. There goes Hatzel out of his pit box, off and away. Cabot off and away, and now Jeff Wright off and away. So was Angelo Ronis, and they are off and away out of pit road. As Turner continues to stay on the racetrack, so does Chris Samard. And I believe Dallas Sullivan has still stayed out here on pit road. And Hatchell goes 1 lap down to Turner, but I think it'll be short-lived as Hatchell with 40-lap fresher tires will blow right around the 24.
As if he's standing still. That's just, what a display of how important tires are, you know?
Absolutely, and Jeff Wright has fallen behind. Ray Massey, AJ Servato able to jump the 33 of Mayato, and Massey able to jump the 48. And Angelo Rona staying in touch behind them. I'm sure Ray Massey is there. What happened to... Oh, yeah, no, we're good. And Noah Mahalski's still there, and Adam Cabot getting by Emanuele, which is first position here. He's on the lead lap, but with way older tires on the racetrack. And here comes Brody Hayes to pit road. Oh, maybe too hard to pit road. He's going to make it in just fine. So now Bailey Turner still on the racetrack. How many laps is he going to be willing to go? Look at this. Keith Mayato underneath AJ Servato for position. He gets him. And these guys all making their final pit stops of the night. We're going to the end. Here comes Bailey Turner into pit road. And Turner, the leader, into pit road, so it'll hand the lead back over to Seth Hatchell, which he has 3 laps on his tires. So now Turner will have, well, about to complete 4. So Turner will have 4 lap fresher tires, and Hatchell does not have to worry as he has a 5-second gap over Adam Cabot.
This 8 car could essentially put it on cruise control, but he's still gonna have to stay clean and stay consistent. That's gonna be what brings home the win for Seth Hatchell.
Bailey Turner merge out of pit road. He's gonna come out behind all of this traffic.
He's gonna have to do everything he just did all over again.
It's gonna be tough for him. As there goes Emanuele by, so Turner back down to 10th on the racetrack. There's Todd Giles Jr. behind him in the 25. I don't know if he'll get at least by him. He'll get behind him, and Turner will scoot away with those fresher tires. So we'll see what happens here as Hatchell, your leader. Dallas Sullivan still on the racetrack in second, hoping to catch a lucky caution. And how about this? Ray Massey, Jeff Wright battling. That's for 5th on the racetrack. And he's going to get the spot on Massey, and there goes Wright. We'll move up to what will be 5th once the cycle of pit stops kind of gets going. And unfortunately for Chris Samard, a speeding ticket for him, and he will go 2 laps down.
Is not what you want to have.
That is not. And Sullivan still on his run. Impressive to see what he's been able to do. If he can catch a caution, same with Timmy Emanuele, but we'll see. And unfortunately for Chris Samard, we had a good battle inside the top 10 with Noah Mahalski and Cody Atkins, and unfortunately that takes him out of that. He is the first car lap down, but he is sitting in 17th position. See, there goes Maiato by, and now here comes Wright and Stravato to go on by. And Wright looking to the inside, who does have fresher tires than AJ Stravato. And this time, Jeff Wright just picking spots up one by one, closing that points gap.
I was curious if Jeff Wright had adapted his strategy just one more time to make it to the end of this race on a quicker pace of what he's shown in the first 2.
He has, it seems to be. And Bailey Turner that last time was fast, half a second faster than the leader, but he's 10 seconds back.
It'll be very difficult to close that gap with only 29 laps remaining. Sorry, not 29, 39.
39. It's all right, but still a long way to go. So, we'll see, as there's plenty of racing still left, but it's going to be hard. You were right. There's 29 laps to go. You did your math right, Logan. You got it.
I did. Yeah.
You did. You're good. Yes, we are still clean and green, and appreciate all of you guys watching the Up There Disc Golf 180 here from the Chicagoland Speedway. Seth Hatchell, your leader by 4.2 seconds over Adam Cabot. Keith Maiato is in 3rd. Jeff Wright is 4th, and AJ Stravato is 5th, as we have been caution-free for the first 93 laps of this race, and still closing up on 25 laps to go. Stick around. We'll go to a quick commercial break. But until then, we'll go side by side here from VSPEED. We'll be right back.
Sailor Tower Magic is the spot to get a reading from Sally, an intuitive healer and tower reader. known as the Nurturing Reader at New Jersey Street Fairs. You can also check out our YouTube channel for lunar and astro readings, as well as our Instagram for live weekly readings. Her rates are affordable, and you will leave with a newfound perspective. Sally is now offering an introductory class on tarot cards and intuition, and is available for parties. Call or text 732-314-0777 to schedule your reading today.
Back live here from the Chicagoland Speedway in the up there disc golf 180, 98 laps complete of 120, so 22 laps to go, and Seth Hatchell has led all but 10 or 15, as he has a 3.8 second lead over Adam Cabot still, and Jeff Wright able to get by Keith Mayato on the racetrack, and Wright salvaging points, it seems, still. And Bailey Turner has charged up to 7th with those fresher tires, looking for 6th on Angelo Ronis.
Not a whole lot of action going on while we were away, but just enough to keep things interesting. Like you said, Jeff Wright now sitting in 3rd position, trying to salvage every point that he can, but still with 20 laps remaining in this race this time around. Now, there's always opportunity for error on anybody on the field, so we'll see. 100 laps of caution-free racing is quite impressive.
It is, and Noah Mahalski doing a great job on Cody Atkins, holding him off. That is still for 10th on the racetrack, and Brody Hayes getting by Ray Massey. This is for 8th, and the 37 moves up to 8th. Massey back down to 9th, and looks like Stravato going to relinquish the spot to Bailey Turner for 5th on the racetrack, and Turner gets by AJ Stravato.
They're talking a little bit about the pace that Turner's had tonight, and if he has a chance to make his way up here to the top 3 within the last 20 laps. And, I'm starting to think that he's got the chance. He's got a fast car out there right now.
He certainly does, and, great job out of Bailey Turner in the strategy, but is it going to be good enough to win? I just don't know if it will be, and I think that's the one issue, is that he just hasn't had enough to really, I guess, get himself faster than Seth Hatcher, give himself at least an opportunity to maybe catch the 8, but just really hasn't had enough.
He's sitting almost half second faster than the 8 car right now, but with Seth Hatchell having that clean air on the nose of that car lap after lap, that's going to be his biggest friend right now out there all alone. So we'll see if he can continue to take advantage of that until the end of this race.
It's going to be tough for him to take advantage, but we will see what happens, as it's like Turner going to have to set his eyes on Keith Mayato, but Keith Mayato hasn't really let Jeff Wright go.
No, not by any means. It's this sequence here between these 3 cars will possibly be just as interesting as the last one that we watched.
Yeah, but Bailey Turner's he's faster. And I think this time we'll see. I don't think Keith Miles is going to let him go. Neither is Jeff Wright, because Jeff Wright knows can't afford to give up too much time. Can't afford to lose a spot to the 36 and the 24.
He can't afford to lose those spots, and then that just, in the end, means less points being saved against Seth Hatchell and Bailey Turner. So, you know, he's going to put up a battle here towards the end of this. And, of course, Keith Miato in that 36, teammates with our leader. He'll be doing everything he can to try to keep Bailey Turner at bay here.
Well, Keith let him go here, and I think Bailey's going to move up to third, or fourth, excuse me, and we'll see if he can get to right here. And if he battles right, can Keith Miato find a way back around him? Heck of a move there from Bailey, and we'll see. I just don't think he's, you know, I think another question is, can Bailey run down Cabot?
That's another big factor there, and Cabot just time and time again already tonight showing he can keep a car behind him for quite a while.
Yeah, Cabot's really hard to pass. He's fast, but he's hard to pass, and Bailey needs to make quick work of right here if he wants to give himself a chance at Cabot. And how about Angelo Ronis underneath AJ Stravato for sixth? How about that? Angelo Ronis up to sixth. Back down to fifth for Stravato, and there's Chris Samard closing in as well. So we'll see. And now Turner up to right, about the top two in the championship, going at it here for third. Turner needing that spot, get an extra point, gain some points here on Wright, but Wright not making it easy for him.
Oh, not at all. And Jeff Wright's been running that outside line, so he knows how that's been holding. Now the question is, let's take a look at our track temp. It's come down 8 degrees since the start of this race, so that's going to play in favor for Jeff Wright running that higher line, be able to make that car stick a little bit better than what it was earlier.
Becomes more momentum-based racing as the track gets cooler, but we'll see this time. Although Turner with the fresher tires, 4-lap fresher tires on the 24 than the 48, but seems to be stuck in a little bit of a bubble of air right now. Can't find a way around him. And you know how tough it's going to be for Bailey Turner if he loses to Jeff Wright. Wright's been behind him all race, but what a comeback for the 48. As it comes Turner to the outside lane, he's going to have a big run here. Right, get out of the gas. We'll see. Just not enough momentum for the 24. He's going to close up to his bumper at least, but maybe a little bit less than that. So we'll see. Turner's stuck behind him. We'll see. Here he comes. This time he'll look under, got some clean air to the nose. And we talked about Jeff Wright struggling on these long runs, getting back to the power, struggling with right rear grip, but it seems right now they got that car better, or he's gotten it better.
Got a little sideways there into turn one for Jeff Wright. And
save out of him, but yeah, these guys are losing touch with Cabot. Cabot is faster than them now, so I don't know. Even if Turner gets by Wright, I don't know if he's going to get to Cabot.
It's closing in on 10 laps to go. It's looking not very well.
Right now that Jeff Wright and Bailey Turner, they're leaving it all on the line here. Maybe my auto's saving, but I don't think Turner and I think Turner's realized he's probably not going to run down Cabot, so he's got to give it all here and get by Jeff. Struggling here. Cannot find a way around him.
And if Jeff Wright and Bailey Turner keep battling, then Keith Miato might be able to go for a twofer and help his teammate out a little bit.
And we'll see as Wright gets loose this last time. I think Bailey Turner's got to get to that left rear quarter panel and pack some air on him, get him loose, make him use that right rear grip. And I think Jeff's still holding on. He's falling off here. That car's getting worse and worse for him to drive as he's pushing it harder and harder. He's sliding around a little bit more. Here comes Turner to the back bumper. He's going to loosen him up here off the corner. Jeff had to get out of the gas. Here comes Turner to the bottom now. This is the best opportunity Bailey Turner's had. Jeff Wright sends it in on the outside. Turner backs it off a little bit. Now he's going to pull even with them. Oh, they're going to lean on each other a little bit. Turner not going to go below the apron. Going to pull right next to him, side draft him. Now the front stretch. Can he dive into the corner? Slide job for the 24 maybe. Wright pinches him low. Turner gets loose on the bottom. Can he stay even with Wright? He can't. Wright clears him. Ooh, big moment there from Jeff, though.
A little loose down that back stretch there for Jeff Wright, but collected it up and...
Turner needs to find a way to get to the outside. Jeff's struggling with rear grip now. That 48 car's falling off again with the rear tires.
Look at that 36, putting his name in there.
Mayato has tossed his hat into the ring. No, this time Jeff Wright gonna give up that right rear. He's gonna let Turner get to the outside. Oh, Turner got loose, and here comes Mayato to the inside. Right, that is exactly what Jeff Wright was wanting to see. Now Mayato takes fourth away from Turner, and Wright holds on to third, but Wright's slipping and sliding around here. Bailey Turner, he's going to push Keith Mayato down the front stretch. Doesn't want to get him in the left rear and spin him around. Mayato now utilizing the outside lane, trying to use some momentum to get by the 48 of Jeff Wright. Mayato gets sideways off the corner, but he's going to get a big run and a lot of momentum and even a push from Bailey Turner. Mayato back up to the outside in 3 and 4. Can he carry enough momentum to get to the outside or the inside of Jeff Wright? Down the front stretch they go. 5 or 6 laps to go from Chicago. Wright uses the apron, going to cost himself momentum. And Wright trying to take that line away, but he doesn't. And now Mayato's to the outside. Going to have a big run. He's going to get loose on the top, though. Oh, he gets too loose. And a big moment from Keith Mayato. And it allows Wright some breathing room to cool the tires down. I think Wright's going to hold on to third here.
Another side-by-side battle right behind him between Angelo Ronis and the 29, AJ Stravato. They've been duking it out the last couple laps here, switching spots.
And then Brody Hayes has caught both of them as well. 5 laps to go.
Might see an interesting finish here between some of these groups.
We definitely are. Remember Stravato with a little bit older tires than both. Oh, he's in the wall. He got the wall. Here comes Hayes. Hayes does have fresher tires than AJ Stravato. Might be a spot here for Brody Hayes. Get an extra couple of points. Could be crucial in the final few races. Don't want to get in a wreck here either. 4 laps to go from Chicagoland, and what a dominant performance it's been from the 8 car of Seth Hatchell as the battle for third still going on. This has kind of stabilized as Jeff Wright has pulled away from Bailey Turner and Keith Mayato, and now Hayes still underneath Stravato here for 7, excuse me. And now they switch lanes. Stravato goes middle. Hayes goes to the top. Will Hayes be able to generate enough momentum off the top to get a run on Stravato? Stravato holds on, but here comes Hayes with the run. They hold on. Angelo Ronis trying to hold on for his life ahead of Stravato and Hayes, and the 33 struggling a little bit on grip. So is the 37. The 37 with the freshest tires of these two, or of these 3. In battle for third is 2 laps to go. Popsicle sticks in the air for Seth Hatchell. These 2 groups of 3 continue to battle as Jeff Wright has began to leave the 36 and 24 and will somehow, some way, beat Bailey Turner today and gain more points on the 24 after the 24's win last week. But Hatchell is going to gain some more spots on the 48 as Turner slides up the racetrack. And, oh, Stravato into the wall this time. This time it's going to cost him a position. And Hayes gets by AJ Stravato, and Stravato caught the wall that last time. And the caution won't come out, and it'll be a caution-free race. There's 1 lap to go for Seth Hatchell, and it's been a dominant performance tonight. The A car has been nothing short of flawless all evening. He won the All-Star race 2 weeks ago, and it might make you think that he had a confidence spike. He got second last week by a half a car length, but this time ain't nobody gonna finish car lengths between him. It's gonna be seconds. As off of turn 4, Seth Hatchell will get another win on the list, an inch closer to Jeff Wright's points lead. Seth Hatchell is your winner at Chicagoland. He wins the Up There Disc Golf 180. Adam Cabot comes home second. Jeff Wright somehow, someway gets third. Keith Mayato 4th. Bailey Turner in 5th. Angelo Ronis holds off Brody Hayes for 6th. Then Hayes, Stravato, Mahalski, and Atkins to top 10, and what a dominant win for Seth Hatchell. Leads all but 15 laps.
Now that 8 car just found its home at the lead of the pack and did not want to leave.
Got the clean air, and man, he pulled away. What a drive from Seth Hatchell, and he's going to close up points on Jeff Wright. Turner's going to lose some, and Hatchell going to burn it down. Heck, you might want to bring that car to Auto Club. And we know Seth Hatchell, believe it or not, 2 years ago in the season finale at Auto Club was the winner. So good momentum for the 8 car, and a lot of momentum for Seth Hatchell.
That's huge. I mean, like you said, the win in the All-Star race, the second place finish last week, first this week. It's hard to say if he can be stopped through this postseason.
Yeah, we'll see. It's going to be hard, but the 2-time champion inches closer to the point lead, and we'll talk to him here after a quick commercial break. We'll talk to our entire top 3 of Jeff Wright, Adam Cabot, and Seth Hatchell. Stick around for post-race interviews. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
Sailor Tarot Magic is the spot to get a reading from Sally, an intuitive healer and tarot reader, known as the nurturing reader at New Jersey street fairs. You can also check out our YouTube channel for lunar and astro readings, as well as our Instagram for live weekly readings. Her rates are affordable, and you will leave with a newfound perspective. Sally is now offering an introductory class on tarot cards and intuition, and is available for parties. Call or text 732-314-0777 to schedule your reading today. And welcome back to the Chicagoland Speedway here for the conclusion of the Up There Disc Golf 1A. Let's take a look at our finishing results before we go to post-race interviews. Seth Hatchell, a dominant win, leads 105 with 120 laps en route to his 3rd win of the season. Then it's Adam Cabot in 2nd, Jeff Wright 3rd, Bailey Turner, or Keith Maotto, in 4th, then Bailey Turner 5th. Angelo Ronis comes home 6th, Brody Hayes in 7th. AJ Servato is 8th, Noah Mohosky is 9th, and Cody Atkins rounds out the top 10.
Back in 11th, we've got the 80 of Dennis Faircloth. Behind him, Alan Dice will take home 12th. Justin Carey in 13th. Dallas Sullivan will take home 14th. Timmy Emanuele will take home the 15th position. Chris Samard in 16th. Newcomer Todd Giles Jr. will take home 17th today. Ray Massey behind him in 18th, and 3 cars that unfortunately did not finish tonight. The 4 car of Robert Happy Gilmore, Max Cost, and Dennis Steele.
Absolutely. And then rounding out the field tonight was Dennis Steele and 10 lead changes. And how about that? A caution free race for BTDY once again. And how about we move on to pit lane to our third place finisher, and I believe still our championship leader here, Jeff Wright.
Oh.
Jeff Wright. Alec Martinez, looking third, Cal in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
I got you, Alec.
Well, man, somehow you wrangled that car to third. You were struggling to seem like the first two runs, and then got it going once again, and somehow able to hang on, and hold off Keith Mata, Bailey Turner. How was it regrouping and getting at least coming away with third?
Well, yeah, you're right. It was a handful that first run, and we were, I guess we pushed it too hard. We just fell off an absolute cliff and faded to about 8th place. I didn't even really know what I was doing wrong. I kind of just was approaching Chicagoland like I've always done, and feel like I've been pretty good here in the past, but whatever, I don't know if the conditions or the tires, whatever it wasn't working that first run. Then thankfully about lap 40, we had a crew chief and spotter come hop on the box, and Brian Chambliss, and he talked some sense into me. He told me to stop over driving the race car, find a groove, and try to execute on our pit strategy, which I think we did pretty good getting on and off pit road. But yeah, it was a battle. I feel like this is the hardest I've had to drive for a third place ever. So I thought we were going to be just trying to minimize the damage. I thought the way we fell off that first run, I thought, oh, we're in trouble here. Bailey's going to gain a ton of points on us tonight. So the fact that we got not only third but actually finished ahead of Bailey still somehow, that's huge moving on to next week and the rest of the season.
Absolutely. Gain points on Bailey. You're going to lose a little bit to Seth, but now next week we go to the short track at Iowa. How do you feel about going out there, another Midwest track? I think more of a home track to you, obviously being a Nebraska native. How do you feel about going out there and maybe trying to win that race and extend that points gap?
Yeah, I really like Iowa Speedway, and like you said, yeah, kind of a home track for us, being a neighboring state in Iowa. Actually was there this past weekend, so got to see the first ever cup race in person there at Iowa Speedway, and it was a pretty good show. So I'm excited to take it on in iRacing here next week. Short track's been pretty good for us, and Iowa's been a short track that I feel like I've done pretty well at in the past. So yeah, looking forward there and have quite a bit of confidence going to Iowa.
For sure. Well, we appreciate your time. If there's anybody you want to give a shout out to here for this run?
Yeah, big thanks to Brian Chambliss again, coming in here, crew chiefing me and spotting me from lap 40 on, and helping me out with the strategy and everything. And big shout out to you and Logan up in the booth, doing a great job here with the VSPEED broadcast, and all the sponsors and all the admins involved to help make this thing happen.
For sure. Well, we appreciate your time, Jeff. Hopefully we'll be talking to you again next week out in the cornfields of Iowa. Appreciate your time. Get congratulations on third, and we'll see you next week.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. And that's Jeff Wright, your points leader and your third place finisher tonight. We'll move up to second with Adam Cabot here. Let me see if I can get him in here. And there he is. Adam Cabot, Magic Man, brother. You come home second. Can you got a copy, brother?
Yes, sir.
Well, man, you come home second. And seemed like nobody could touch the 8 car today. You were close and had a good battle with Bailey Turner, Keith Maotto, and even Jeff Wright there. Take us through your race, and maybe what more did you need to catch Seth?
Man, I thought I won. I didn't see any cars in front of me, and then I checked the rail. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, Seth just had the field covered tonight. I feel like it was a typical race for me where I picked up some things, and then towards the end, like 20, 30 laps to go, I definitely found something, found some speed. But at that point, he was 5 seconds ahead of me, so there's nothing I could really do. The point that I definitely lost the race was the first pit stop. I slid through my stall, and when I came out on the track, I was 0.8. I was 0.8 of a second behind Seth. So if I didn't slide through my stall in the first stop, I would have been able to short pit him and come out ahead of him. He was so quick. I don't think it would have, I don't think it would have really mattered. I think he still would have found a way to get back by me, but it certainly would have made things more interesting and maybe made that gap more manageable to the end where I could have had something for him. But 5 seconds, I think just kind of had the field covered today. So pretty disappointing that there was no high groove. I don't know what's going on lately, but I feel like the racing in this car has just not been good. This isn't my favorite car to begin with anyway, but like, how do you go to Chicago with like 100 and however many degree track temp and not have a high side? I don't really get that. So that was disappointing. Cars were loose, which was good, but still kind of just drove like garbage. I don't know. But we had a good battle for second there, me, Bailey, and Keith. Definitely cost ourselves a lot of time, but at that point, I think we all knew we were battling for second. So That was fun, and yeah, glad to be able to figure some things out and come home second. But definitely, I think we all have some work to do if we want to be able to keep up with Seth next time we come to Chicago.
For sure. Well, we appreciate your time, Adam. Does anybody want to give a shout out to, or I guess I should ask you how you feel about going to Iowa as well next week?
Uh, in this car, eh. But I mean, Iowa. I ran a truck race at Iowa during week 13. That was an absolute blast. The setups in the truck were great for Iowa, and the changes they made to the truck have been amazing. So that was a lot of fun. But I don't know. I'm not great with this car in short tracks, but Iowa's a great track. So hopefully we at least see more multi-groove racing than we did tonight.
For sure. Well, we appreciate your time, Adam. Anybody want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, give a shout out to Seth for whooping us tonight. Nice job.
Well, we appreciate your time, Adam. Well, hopefully we'll be talking to you again next week out at Iowa. So appreciate it, and have a good night.
All right, thanks, Al.
And that is second place finisher, short and sweet there for Adam Cabot. And the second place finish, solid night for the Magic Man. Well, we appreciate your time, and we'll move on to our winner, Logan. I believe you are with him.
Yeah, I've got Seth Hatchell down here in the winner's circle tonight. Seth, man, you did it.
Yeah, it feels pretty surreal. I haven't had a win that dominant in a while, and I don't take these wins for granted. These are really good drivers in here, but was able to get control of the race real early, start on the pole. We had that 3-wide moment lap 1, and then thankfully we didn't have any cautions there. The rest of the race I was able to control, and those guys back behind me were racing up and trying different strategies, and that let me get away. But really good points night. I think this puts me just a couple back of the points lead, and that's the ultimate goal. So got to keep focused forward here.
Absolutely. And, I think by my math, you will take second place in the points. And going into Iowa, that's going to be huge for you. Absolutely. And, I mean, again, last week had you up here for second place interviews. Week before that, all-star race, first place interview. You're on a roll right now, man. And with that being said, how well or how confident do you feel taking this into Iowa next week?
I feel pretty confident with my speed, but again, I don't take for granted these wins or these finishes. These are really good drivers in here, so I got to keep putting in the work. But in terms of how I feel about my own speed, I feel really good. This is the quickest I felt in a long while. And even compared to the start of the year, I felt I was, maybe a 4th or 5th place car at the start of the year, and now I feel like I'm definitely a contender for wins every week. But just got to keep plugging away and work towards that championship.
Absolutely. And of course, picking up that bonus point for the most laps led with 105. Like you said, it's a dominating performance. And, you love to see it. It was great racing on your half and great racing all behind you as well. But Seth, before you depart, buddy, short and sweet one for you tonight. Let you get all settled down. Anybody you'd like to say thanks to, buddy?
Yeah, I want to thank you guys for doing a great job with the broadcast and the VSPEED brand as a whole. Got to thank all the sponsors of this league, including Up There Disc Golf for jumping on the race tonight, letting us do what we do. Got to thank Keo for being on the car. Got to thank Nick, all the admins doing a great job running this league. All the drivers putting on a great race for everybody to watch tonight, and my team VSPEED.
Absolutely. And again, congratulations, Seth. 3 great races back to back to back. Hopefully we'll see you carry on into next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
As all with Seth Hatchell. Alec, any final thoughts here?
Man, what a race! What a dominant performance by Seth, and I think Seth just put himself in the discussion that he can win this. That he can win the championship. I think Jeff Wright. He's gonna have his hands full. He's got a hands full with the battle with Bailey, and I think he's gonna have to worry about Seth. And next week, man, Seth's got a lot of momentum. And momentum, I'll tell you what, momentum is real, man. And I think Seth, he's got it on his side. It's gonna be really interesting to see how these final 6 weeks come in, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens. I think it's gonna be really fun.
Absolutely. It's going to be great racing for the next 6 weeks. Like you said, the battle's really, really heating up here in the top 4 for the points. So we'll see what these guys can put together. And it's just going to be a great finish to the season whenever it comes to BTDY.
Yes, sir, it will be. And I'm looking forward to next week where you can catch us out at the Iowa Speedway. Will be race number 15 and race number 3 of the chase. It'll start at around 8:35 p.m. Eastern Time, and I look forward to seeing everybody out there in the old Midwest and the cornfields of Iowa, where we'll have a heck of a race once again for BTDY. But until then, we appreciate all of you guys watching, appreciate the support. Remember, if you're not following, please hit the subscribe button and get all your notifications for when VSPEED goes live for any racing series on Tuesday nights with BTDY, as well as any other racing series that is broadcasted throughout the entire week. But until then, thank you. I'm Alec Martinez, along with my co-commentator and producer, Logan Thurkel. It's been an honor and a pleasure as always. We look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you, Bradley Cooper, Adam Baker, and all the other guys, Eddie Smith, that help out with this organization. We got a great thing brewing here, and a lot of great things that are yet to happen that will happen soon. So we appreciate all of you guys' support and watching. We'll catch you next week out in Iowa.
And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out the 37.
Oh!
Cabot,
Where did he come from? Here comes Zwack.
A punch for the 33.
It's a drag race.